We're in Squamish here, heading up to the Adidas event. We're gonna go check out Chateau Whistler, Nick North.
Let's play some golf in the mountains.
Let's do this.
Whistler is most well known as being a ski town, a couple hours north of Vancouver. It even hosted part of the Olympics in 2010. But running a golf course in the mountains has some unique challenges. While in the area with Adidas for their fall 2022 launch event, we got to check out Nick North and Chateau Whistler and caught up with Aaron Mansbridge, the super at Nick North, to learn more.
The seasons in Whistler, how would you describe it?
Fast and furious. Yeah, I mean, we're under snow typically for a minimum of 5 months. We go from bitter cold in the winter months to fairly hot in the summer. We're warmer than Vancouver in the summer and a lot colder obviously in the winter. So definitely there's some extreme temperature swings. Right now the long range says, next week will be all mid-20s and then there's about 100 mils of rain in the forecast and it'll probably be 10 degrees. So these mountains will be covered in snow probably in about 10 days. The wettest we generally get is actually when it gets hot in the spring and all the snow is melting and coming down from the alpine. And because we're so flat on the far side and so close to our drainage outlets in terms of elevation, we tend to flood because the water's coming from the ground up. And people may not like to hear it when membership or whoever is asking why bunkers are flooded, can't we pump them? Well, we'd have to pump them to Pemberton because the whole valley floor is flooded at that time. So that's kind of a unique thing for us in terms of drainage. Living in Whistler can be a little bit strange being a resort town, but starting to get used to it. Nicklaus North is a great place to work, great place to play. I just really enjoy the property. I think Jack did a fantastic job designing the place. June is belovedly referred to as January, which I think is similar up the whole Pacific Northwest. We can tend to get some pretty wet Junes. It does vary quite a bit here. You can't really rely on seasons being very similar. The mountains can do weird things. So a lot of days rain will come in and just follow the mountains and just avoid the valley. Once October hits, it'll generally get pretty moist around here. And it's just whether it's rain or snow is the only question, really.
This being on Green Lake, which from my understanding, it's a glacier-fed lake. Does that body of water impact the golf course in any particular way?
Yeah, I mean, this is actually that's our irrigation pond, if you want to call it a pond. So again, fortunate that lack of water would never be an issue. If Green Lake ever runs dry, we're in big trouble in Whistler. So we kind of have a never-ending supply there, which is great. We still try and obviously be environmentally sensitive with how much we're using, and frankly, from a turf standpoint, watering too much is no good anyways. In terms of it affecting the course, really, it's just how fast it can drain down Green River is really what affects us the most. And then, just the advantage of having basically endless irrigation supply is a plus for us as well. This property here was a completely manufactured land. The west side of the course, where the majority of the golf course is, it was essentially a bog. And so we sand capped up on top of that and built everything and made our own catch basins and solid transit pipes to move the water. We've got 4 retention ponds. Basically, they flow into each other and then they get into the River of Golden Dreams, which then pops out that end of the lake and comes down into Green Lake. So occasionally we have some beaver issues with their drainage. They'll dam up the creek there and we got to try to figure that out. All in all, the infrastructure here is quite good. Sand-capped fairways, USGA greens. It's nice to know that you have the tools for the job with high expectations of product.
And what about the surrounding beauty, I guess? What does it mean to be living in the mountains, so to speak?
Yeah, it's beautiful. I mean, a couple of the vantage points in the morning before all the golfers are out. When we're out here 4:30, 5 in the morning, it's a great place for a morning coffee. It's pretty peaceful. We got our buddies, the bears, who hang out with us in the morning and then take off when the golfers get around for the most part. And you definitely try to stop and take a breath and enjoy the views and realize where you're at and try to take it all in. It's a special place. Started out in Ontario, a place called St. Andrews, Silvertip in Canmore, Tobiano after that, The Rock in Muskoka, Vancouver Island. I was there for 9 years, did a little stint at Royal Sydney in Australia during that time, moved over to Whistler after that. Kind of worked my way west and I don't really plan on going back. Hey, good job, bud. Where were you? Yeah, he's cute. Not smart. Hey, are you smart? Not really.